Welcome to your Week 10 Fantasy Football Recap. I'm your host, Krim Barflow. Another week and another victory for the surging critical hits. It was a free win, but this marks 3 straight for Derek, bringing his record to 11-9 and currently holding one of the final 2 playoff spots. Speaking of free wins, the Schmucks are back to their usual shenanigans against Aaron's fuck-ups. There isn't much to say about this one. John was nearly doubled up as he falls to Chris by a final of 152-83, making it 2 weeks in a row of John being our parlay pony. Now for a real matchup. It's Now Here's a Guy taking on Run a Chan on Her. A look at these 2 rosters leaves much to be desired, begging the question as to why they were so absent during the trade deadline. Nonetheless, Logan was yet again able to ride the coattails of Jonathan Taylor to yet another victory by a final score of 150-122. Our next matchup saw Houday and the Floundering Fish take on To A Legit Might As Well Quit. This turned out to be quite the bout, despite a goose egg from Garrett Wilson and yet another abysmal performance from A.J. Brown, who was quoted as saying, "If you got me on fantasy, get rid of me." Chuck was still able to fend off Mike by a final tally of 119-112. And now, Pack's interference for this week's Game of the Week.
Thanks, Krim. The Game of the Week saw 2 title contenders trade haymakers between I Dream of Rain, I Am Minor, and Mutant Ninja Turtles. Finally, after 9 lackluster weeks, Travion Henderson made his presence felt and luckily not on the bench for Alex despite 37 points from Jahmyr Gibbs. Brian was unable to stop this week top point scorer Alex by final score of 162-134. Back to you, Krim.
Thanks, Pax. And now, let's look forward to next week's matchups. Grant has a bye. Which playoff hopeful will instead become mopeful when Chuck and Logan meet? Can Alex avoid disaster? Or will he fall to the pastor, Mike? Can John play spoiler, or will Derek be his destroyer? And which team will break through in a potential finals preview when Brian and Chris face off? And with only 4 weeks remaining, it's the home stretch of the playoff race. Let's take a peek at what the playoff bracket currently looks like. No surprise at the top, with Brian and Chris looking like the early buys, with 3rd place, Alex nipping closely at their heels. 4th seed currently belongs to Logan, looking to make what I believe would be his first ever postseason appearance. Followed by 5th seed Derek, and last seed currently belonging to Grant, which would leave our poor defending champion on the outside looking in. But with 4 weeks still remaining, and only 1 point separating Chuck from Grant, this is still almost anyone's for the taking. And as always, best of luck, competitors.